Hello there, welcome to another episode of Terraform Cloud. In earlier episode, we have registered with Terraform Cloud, started our sample GCP workspace and tried with some sample code deployment using Terraform Cloud. Today we will be doing some interesting thing on Terraform Cloud. We will be creating our own private modules and we will publish it in Terraform Cloud. And if you want to learn how Terraform module works, how to create Terraform module, I'll be pasting a link of my earlier episode where I have explained and created local Terraform modules. But this time we will be publishing our module through our GitHub repository to our cloud, that means Terraform Cloud. And we will be using those modules to deploy our resources. By saying that, let's get started. First thing first, I have logged into my GitHub account as well as my Terraform Cloud account. Now I need to create one GitHub repository for my module publishing. So let's do that. So I can go to my repositories and then I can click on this new button at the right corner. Now you need to provide one repository name and this is very important. And let me switch back to Notepad and there will be a specific format you have to create your Terraform repository name, and it should start with Terraform, then hyphen, then your provider, whether it is Google, AWS or any other cloud provider, then any name to your repository or the module which you want to publish. For me, let me change it to DL for Das Learning and maybe bucket, something like that. So this DL-bucket will be my module name which will be showing in Terraform Cloud. So let me copy this entire value, switch back to GitHub, paste it, and it's available. Description, any description which you want. So this will be a module repository for Das Learning. You can create it publicly or privately, depends on your choice. I will be creating it as public because I will be sharing the link in the description section, and I can start with a blank readme. That will be fine. And let's create the repo. Now my repo is created. I can click on this code button, copy this URL, and you can use command prompt or any other thing. So I am into my favorite directory where I want to copy it. Let me clear my screen and then I can put git clone and this link, hit enter. As it is a public repository, it did not ask for any authentication. But if you are creating it privately, you have to provide the authentication or credentials or whatever it is. This is now available in local. Let me clear my screen and let me open that folder now. It does not have anything. And let me create a branch now. If I put git branch, I'm on main git checkout -b and develop. This is my branch, new branch. Don't publish everything directly into main. I am on develop and I have already written some sample codes. Let me just copy paste everything into this new directory. And I see here are few files. And if you are following through our earlier episodes, you know how to create modules locally. And here we will be having some little extra, and let me explain those. Let me start with the main.tf, what we are creating. We are creating nothing but a storage bucket, which we did earlier, the same resource, but now it is going to act like a module. This is my resource, what I am creating. I am taking the variable bucket name, the project and the location. And here is my variable definition, all a string type variable I'm taking. So while calling this module, you have to pass bucket name, project and location. That's three things. And let me remove some of these parts and I'll tell you why. So now initially I'm not taking the project, only name and location. And I have commented out the project variable and I have created output also, the bucket name and bucket ID, where I am getting from the resource.name and resource.id. Let me save this file. Initial version I want to publish is as maybe 001. This version file is not acting anything for now. But this is a good practice to keep a track of this, and you can also create your own release cycle using git actions. That will be also fine. But yeah, so initially it is 001, variables, close it, outputs, close it, main, close it. Now in readme, you can write your module definition and examples and any other thing whichever you want to include. It will be shown in the module section of Terraform Cloud. And changelog.md. This file is also very important. So initially I'm releasing 001 and anything you have added, removed. Next time if I release, I can update this value and add another one. And I'll be showing that also. Now I think we are good to go. Let me push this one. Git add dot as usual. Git commit any message initial. So this will be initial module publish, hit enter. Now git push origin and my branch So it has pushed my codes, and let me check here. I can directly click on this compare and pull request. Otherwise I can go to pull request as earlier episode, but yeah, let me do it from here. And if you scroll down, you'll see all the changes here, and it should be 001 in the change log, in the version also 001, and other resources. Click on this pull request. No checks are available for this repo, so I can directly merge, confirm merge. All codes are available in main branch now. Now you need to have some release tags. At the right side you can see releases, and I do not have any releases published. I can click on create a new release, and you need to choose a tag. As I will be publishing this as, let me open my version file 001. You can directly copy this 001, and let me explain what is 001 basically. First one is your major version. Second one is your, I'll be providing a link in the description. You can read it out and you can learn more on versioning. But yeah, and I can choose something. V is optional, and I can choose v.0.0.1, something like that. Click on create new tag on publish, this button, and same version I'm going to take 0.0.1, and you can provide your description, and you can also click on generate release notes. It will be taking from your change logs, and your target branch will be main, as I have already merged everything into main. And let's click on publish release, and if I go to code, and if I click on this release, you'll see the release version and the details along with some zip. Now my repo is ready. Let me go to Terraform registry. Now on Terraform Cloud, I can click on this registry where all the modules will be located, and ignore the earlier test module. If you are doing it for the first time, you might see a button over here at the middle which will be saying publish your module, something like that. In my case, I can see one publish button over here, and I can click on this module button, and as I have already connected with GitHub, it is showing or prompting GitHub only, but you can also connect with other sources like Bitbucket as your DevOps. So if I click on GitHub, that earlier test one which I created for some test purpose, if I go to my repositories, click on your repositories, the new one is not coming. My new repository name is DL bucket. It is not coming over here. And what could be the reason? If you remember our earlier episode, while configuring the VCS connectivity, we have chosen only one repository at that time. And I was doing some test, I also choose another repository. But this new repository does not have that VCS connectivity. For that, what you can do, click on your account button over here at the right side top corner. Click on settings. I'll be opening this in a new tab. And if I go to applications from left side window, you'll see Terraform Cloud was already installed. I can click on configure, and you will see only 2 buckets are selected now. The new one is not selected. That is why. If you have installed it as all repositories from the beginning, then you would not see this problem. Now I can click on select repositories. The new one is appearing over here. Click on DL bucket. Save this. Now cancel this one. So let me go to settings for once, because sometimes it may not refresh automatically. I can click on general under version control at the left and click on update settings. So basically it will refresh everything whatever has changed now on GitHub. Now let's come back to our registry, publish module, GitHub. Now you'll see the new one is appearing because it has the authentication on new repo. Click on this new repo and click on publish module. Wait for a bit. Once it is published, your module name is here. The version, it has only one version now. That is why it does not have any drop down button. And the source where it is located. This readme is coming from the readme file from my GitHub repo. And this input, whatever you have written in, let me just go there. Whatever you have written in variables.tf, that means wherever this variable block is there, all will be taken. Doesn't mean you have to name as variables.tf, it can be anything. But yeah, standard practice will be variables.tf, and all the variable blocks will be taken over here. And whatever you have written in outputs, that will come in output section. That means whenever I call this module, I can also get outputs, and I can use those outputs in other section of my code. Now my module is ready. Let me use this module and try to deploy something on our existing workspace. And if I go to my repositories, this Terraform Cloud is the repository where we had the codes. And if you remember our earlier episode, we used provider block and couple of resource block to create our resources. Now this time I'll comment out this resource block. And if I want to call my module, what I have to do, I'll go to my Terraform Cloud, go to registry, click on your module, whichever you want to use. This will be DL bucket for me. And here you will see a snippet code. I can click on this copy configuration. Let me paste it over here. And whatever input variables you need to provide, that will be in input section. You can check those. And I need to provide two things: bucket name and location. And as I have not defined any project in the module itself, I need to define it somewhere. So I am defining the provider block over here. And yes, I also forgot to explain, there is one point in the module. I have created one file called versions.tf in the module, and you can define your Terraform block and whichever provider you need the version constraints and other things also. And this is already available in module. And in this case, from my project code, I'm just defining my project ID. That's all. And it is calling the module and passing these two variables. And ignore the commented parts for now. I've saved this file. Let me put git add dot git commit any message. So use new module in TF Cloud, something like that. Hit enter. Git push origin. This is my branch develop. And it has pushed successfully to develop. Let me go in the repo. It has not detected any change. Let me click on pull request, new pull request, and it will be from develop to main, and what are the file it has changed, it will be shown over here. And let me create one pull request. And if you remember our earlier episode, it will do an intermediate plan and it is running. And if I go to my projects and workspaces, this is my workspace. If I click on runs, and it has already finished a few seconds ago, plan and finished. Ignore these warnings and it is going to create one bucket. Whatever name I have defined, the location. Now in GitHub also it is showing all checks have passed. Click on merge pull request, confirm merge. And as usual, one more run once you merge it, and this time you will be getting the apply button. And let me check the plan, it should be same. And I can click on confirm and apply any message. Okay, confirm your plan. And quickly, nothing is here in my cloud storage. Click on refresh and it's there. It is still, now apply is also finished from Terraform Cloud. This is how you publish your modules. Now, if you want to publish your next version, that means any enhancement on your module or maybe some bug fixes, what you can do is, for example, last time I commented out this project input, any changes, it can be anything. Now project is a mandatory field to provide. I will be updating this version to 002 and I'll be updating the change log as well, what I am going to do. And new change log will be on the top. This should be 002 and what I am doing. So I'm adding project variable in the module, something like that. And I need to use that in main.tf, and let me uncomment this one. So that means if somebody wants to use this module from this 002 version onwards, they have to provide three inputs now, which is bucket name, location, as well as project ID. And let me close this. Git add dot git commit any message, something like updating module version for now. And I'll be pushing this to develop, and it has pushed successfully. Let me go over there. I am into Terraform Cloud repo. I need to switch my repository, and this should be DL bucket, and it has not detected any change. I can click on pull requests, new pull request. It should be from develop to main, and let me check. 002 seems to be okay. Click on pull request and I can merge it, confirm merge. And if I go to codes now, and it's already merged, but my release tag is 001 only. You can create your own Git pipeline or Git action pipeline, and you can create automatic release of tags. That is different story. I'll be creating it manually now. And if I click on this releases, and I can click on create a new release, and I will be taking the new tag, which is V002 this time. Create new tag V002 again, and I can click on generate release notes. It has taken the changes from the pull requests, and I am targeting from main branch, and I will be setting this as latest release. Click on publish release. Now my new tag version is there, and let me go to registry now. Interestingly, you will see 002 new version of DL bucket module is appearing over here. Whenever any new release tag is published on my repository, which is Terraform Google DL bucket, it will be automatically published to Terraform Cloud, which is cool. And as you see, you'll see one drop down button over here. If I see 002 now, you'll see there are three inputs: bucket name, location, and project. And if I change this to earlier version, you will see only two inputs, and you can use any of these two versions. And let me do one thing. Let me use 002 for now. Let me go to my code again. Let me copy this module section again. You cannot have same name again, so I am doing at bucket 2. In the version, I can update it as 002. The source will be same. And let me just push it. I'll be not giving any project ID as it is required in the input section, and let me see what happens. Git add, git commit, use new module version, hit enter, and I'll be pushing this to develop, published on Git, and let me go there. Change my repository to my Terraform Cloud, which is basically project code, not the module. And let me go to pull requests, create new pull request from develop to main, and it has detected a new one. And let me create the pull request now. The intermediate plan is running now and it has failed. And let me go over there, projects and workspaces, runs, and the last run failed. And why is it? Let us check out. And you will see the argument project is required because that was one mandatory field which did not have any default value, and I need to pass that. The pull request is still there. I'm not going to merge it now because my plan has failed. What I'll do, I'll just add the project over here. In your local provider, where I was using the earlier version, this project and this project can be different. One thing you have to do, you have to have the permission on both the projects, whichever service account you are using. Again, let me push some changes. Not got, git fix the project var, something like that, git push origin develop, and it has pushed. Let us check there, and it should trigger another new intermediate plan. Yeah, let me click on runs from Terraform Cloud again. One plan is running, and this time it is not giving any error, and it is going to create, oh, if the bucket name is same, I have not changed the bucket name, it will fail at apply level. Let me change the bucket name also, and if I push again, as my PR is already open, it should trigger another intermediate plan. I can use the same commit message, push is done. It should trigger a new plan again. It has triggered. Let me click on runs again. Another one is planning. Now I can merge this and it should come successful. Click on merge pull request, confirm merge. Another new run should be there. It is in queue. It's planning now, and I can click on confirm and apply. And as of now, it has only one bucket, some message, confirm plan. And if I go to buckets and hit refresh, second bucket is also present. If I want to access the module outputs, how do I do that? So I can write something output, any output name in your code, module dot your module name. So this is my first module. I need to copy this, update this value. And what was my output? If I go to workspaces, registry, in DL bucket, if I click on output, I can access any of these two. So let me do with bucket ID. This is my first module, and then I can access the bucket ID. Similarly, I can have second one as well, because these version also have bucket ID. If you look closely, there are two versions which I am using, as you know. And if you want to check what are the outputs, there can be different outputs in different versions. You can change your version from Terraform Cloud and check what are the outputs available over there. In both the versions, I have bucket ID, so there should not be any issue with that. And I have saved my file, git add dot, git commit, add output section, hit enter, git push, it is done. I need to create another PR because earlier one was merged. Then I can click on pull request, new pull request, from develop to main. Only changes should be the output section, create pull request, another intermediate plan should be there. Let me go to workspaces, runs, now it is planning. Plan finished because there is no change on the resources. You'll see there are two outputs only. And if I merge even, nothing is going to be applied because there is no change. It should trigger another run for sure. It is planning. These are the two outputs. As there is no change, still it is giving me confirm and apply. I can do that, but nothing will happen. Yeah, basically it will update the state file with these output values, which was not earlier available in the state file because these two output blocks were not there. That is why apply was there. That's all for this video. We created our own module. We even upgraded our module and published with a higher version. And you can use your module version whichever you want in your Terraform project code. See you in the next video with some more interesting topics. Stay tuned.